Fantasy Footballers Sunday Live.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. What's going on, everybody? Anybody doing anything right now? We up to anything? Woo, baby. Sunday Live. It's when the look, heavy as the head. All right? I'm Mike from the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Everyone, welcome in to Sunday Live. Thank you for joining me for, it's a very special edition, obviously. We are in the Fantasy Football Playoffs, Round 1. Appreciate y'all hanging out, spending some time with me. We got a lot of news to talk. Some weather. I guess I can talk about the weather as well. It won't be as, I don't think the weather is as decision-changing as it could be in certain circumstances. But welcome in, Al Borland, Jeremy Grantham.
What's up, best friend?
What's up, best friend? How are you?
I'm just hanging out with my bye buddy this morning.
Yeah, bye week bros. If people are here, look, if you're on a bye week and you're here watching this show, thanks. That's cool. I appreciate it. But we had some movers and shakers this morning, so let's get into it.
The big picture.
All righty, at the quarterback position, Jaden Daniels is out for the Manders. Probably out for the rest of the season. The triumphant return last week. Very Grandpa Simpson. How you doing? Oh, well, see you later. Geno Smith will be out for the Raiders. The Jets, Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor will not be playing. There's a lot of totals that are concerning. And by totals, I mean like implied team totals. Like the Raiders at 12.5. The Browns are at 15.5. The Jets are at just over 13. The Colts are under 14. And you may ask, why are the Colts under 14 implied points? Because it's happening. All the buildup of the week, Riley Leonard was practicing in some fashion for them. However, they said nay. The dude off the couch, father of 10, grandfather of at least one that I'm aware of, has taken a real snap in, 5 years? Phillip Rivers, everyone, will be starting in the National Football League in a must-win game for the Indianapolis Colts. Vegas doesn't think it's going to go very well. All right, the running back position. Nicholas Chubb is out. Woody Marks, goodness gracious, your opportunity today to be a fantasy football hero. Get your name in the rafters, honestly. Let's see. Dylan Sampson, he will be out. Judkins, that's Ford is out. Ford's on the IR for Cleveland. If Dylan Sampson's out, which, that's what I'm reading, Judkins, that's an uptick, man. That he should get passing work as well. Kamara's out. Another Devin Neal week, possibly. This one's a bummer. Chris Rodriguez will be out. We really liked him this week. Now I know. Do you have a bill drop here somewhere, Jeremy? Because I do not. So if you can find it, is this the week? Is this the week? Did we have to wait until the fantasy football playoffs for Bill Krosky Merritt to finally come through? He's at least interesting. He's at least interesting with the matchup. Yes, Christian McCaffrey. Forgot about this one. Goodness gracious. What a weekend we had with the another sleeper alert that Christian McCaffrey was questionable with a back injury. What are you doing? He had the week off. And then, but he's going to play. I think he'll be fine. Josh Jacobs, Green Bay Packers, he is expected to play this afternoon. It is the afternoon, and I'll say that for McCaffrey as well. I think that McCaffrey, and both him and Jacobs are going to go, but it's the afternoon. You got to have a situation where you can pivot out. Speaking of Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson is a game-time decision. I don't know what happened to the Packers running back room, but goodness gracious. Achane will play Monday night. At the wide receiver position, T. Higgins after somehow getting in some limited practices this week, he will be out with the concussion because, yeah, I don't know how they let him practice in a limited fashion. That was weird. Pat Bryant, this one's just a bummer for me personally, but I don't know. Maybe Troy Franklin shows up. Hollywood Brown is out. Rashad Bateman, Baltimore Ravens gave him a bag of money this offseason. He has given them, I think, like 5 total catches. Quentin Johnston of the Chargers, he is out. I guess this was a practice injury. Picked it up late. I mean, that's not great. That certainly does not help Justin Herbert. Parker Washington will play for the Jags. Rome Odunze is going to give it a go, everybody. Do you play Rome Odunze? It's a really, really tough call. I mean, let me go look. Where are we at? Where are we at with Rome? I'm terrified of him. He's in a wide receiver 4 type of a range for me. I think if anything, Rome just kind of, maybe you were hoping you could really get something out of Burden or Mr. Loveland today. Perhaps it put a damper on that. Debo will play. Cedric Tillman, he will be back. He had the concussion or something. Let's see. Gabe Davis is out for the Buffalo Bills. That one's a little bit interesting as he was really getting some routes, but Josh Palmer will play. At the tight end position, David Njoku is out. Meowson Taylor probably getting neutered. He will not be playing. And then Jake Ferguson is expected to play. It is a nighttime game. So he popped up. I think he practiced limited and then didn't practice on Thursday or something. Just make sure you're paying attention and that you are prepared to pivot. Speaking of trying to find some pivots, thefantasyfootballers.com, that's where the rankings are. That's where the start-sit tools. We have a bunch of totally free resources for you to help you make the best decision that you can make on this week. We understand, trust me, we understand the weight of this weekend. If you could see what the work conversation is with Jason Moore and his team right now and the tilt that this man is on. Hey, Jeremy, how tilted is Jason right now?
He's off the planet at the moment.
So, yeah, we get it. We're living it. I mean, I'm not. I got bye weeks. Sorry, that's not helpful. That's a mean humble brag. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just really, really proud of what my teams have accomplished this year. So we get it, but we're going to jump into it.
He's so hot right now.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't even check on the computer. Has the computer gathered the information? Oh.
Thank God.
Whew.
That was close.
That was real. Imagine I start the segment and the computer is not ready. All right. Like I said, there's a free start-sit tool on the website. It's Sunday Live. This is a 30-ish minute program where we get to the big news, the big heavy hitters, as well as some individual questions. But we track who the big-time questions are about this week. And who are they this week, Jeremy? Who's hot?
All right, let's start at the wide receiver position. Are you starting Xavier Worthy or Alec Pierce? Next question.
That's so upsetting because when I get a Xavier Worthy question, that's very easy for me. The answer is no. I'm not going to play Worthy, but Alec Pierce. Okay. Oh, I didn't mention the weather. It's cold. It's cold everywhere. I think it's about half of the games or so are people playing in cold weather. You can't really escape it. There's some where they're a little bit more concerned about winds, like the Philly game. I'm seeing gusts up to 25, but overall, I'm not seeing a ton of stuff that is very, very troubling. The Giants, looking at Kevin Roth's stuff, he's probably the most concerned about the Washington Giants game, but overall, not too shabby. Okay, so to the Colts. I know. I want to have answers for y'all. I want to be here, and I want to give you confident takes about my process, how I have worked things, what I see the probability as. The Colts, brother, I got no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen with Phillip Rivers. Can Phillip Rivers still play? does the lines, what would the passing lines, the props, they're like 150 yards. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea what to do. I think that Jonathan Taylor is the only must play. Even that is super sketchy to be 2 touchdown dogs on the road in Seattle. That's tough stuff. But Alec Pierce, unless they change something about how they use Alec Pierce, he's the one I'm the most scared of because he's the deep route guy. And honestly, even if Phillip Rivers has it, he's still got something left. It takes time to build up that camaraderie of being able to hit someone on a deep shot, unless it's just a full broken play. A defender falls down. Phillip Rivers, I think, could see that should the DB on Alec Pierce fall down and maybe get a good, easy, long completion. But I really don't know how to play the Colts. I co-managed a team with the Biggest Loser, Brian Ketchum, BCAT, and right now, Alec Pierce is on her bench, and this is a 3-wide with a flex league. And Alec, we're not playing him right now. It's too sketchy for us, too rich for my blood. So I would play Worthy in that situation. I mean, I would hope I have a better pivot than Worthy, but Alec Pierce is just I don't know how you play him.
All right, and unfortunately, we're not getting away from the Colts that easily, so we're also going to go to this next one. Michael Pittman or Roma Dunze?
What is this, directly from Jason?
It is not.
No way. That's not just Jason's question?
It's not. I mean, it is what he's facing that predicament, but this did not come from him.
Okay, so the Chicago Bears at least have an implied total of 23 points, 38.5-point over-under. That's pretty gross, but to be at least implied, they think you're going to score at least 3 touchdowns. The rumored stress fracture for Roma Dunze. I would play Rome. There, I can see a case where Michael Pittman, if you're in a PPR, he has 8 catches for 40 yards. There is a world I see where that can be an outcome, but in the playoffs, you gotta have some intestinal fortitude if you're going to be gambling your playoff spot on Phillip Rivers. I mean, the Colts are. If that wants to give you any boost of confidence, the Colts are literally betting their playoffs on Phillip Rivers. If they lose this week, I think they're essentially toast. That's such a bad option to go to Rome, but I would play Rome.
All righty. And then are you starting Teteroa McMillan or Michael Wilson?
Okay. Wow. I think the answer is still Michael Wilson. Because it's morphin time, and when Marv is off the field and he just levels up. The cons against the Arizona Cardinals, the offensive line is now beat up, and of course the matchup against Houston is just as terrifying as it gets. But the Cardinals, they can't run. DeMarcado is going to play. I think that might help Jacoby with just a couple dump offs. We're still having a problem with our S's here. I think that Michael Wilson is the way that I would go. That the Carolina game against the Saints, it was pretty nasty last time, and I wouldn't be surprised if it just stays nasty, as in like a divisional game where both teams, the power of the team is the defense. I think the last time we saw Ted, it was just like it was terrible until a really late touchdown saved things for him. I'm going to stick with Michael Wilson. I'm going to stay in those flames.
All right, and last question at the wide receiver position, still involving Michael Wilson. Are you starting him or Jacoby Myers?
Oh,
facing the Jets.
Yeah. I'm okay going Jacoby there. Much safer right now. Let's see. Jacoby is sitting inside my top 20 there. Of course, back to back, as I have Michael Wilson a bit lower than the consensus rankers out there this week, because of the offensive line and the matchup. Jacoby, if you are looking at your matchup, you're like, dude, I can't have a disaster. I think I'm good going Jacoby there. Otherwise, I'd stick with Michael Wilson.
All right, let's move over to the running back position. Are you starting Devin Neal or Omarion Hampton?
Oh no! I'm going to play Hampton. I know that that matchup for Hampton, with the Chiefs, it's not great. It is definitely not great, but it's Devin Neal, tougher matchup against Carolina as well. Should have all the work to himself. Kamani Vidal will see touches in this game for the Chargers, but when you're talking about that, I'll take the side of talent. I'm not poo-pooing Devin Neal out there, everyone. Just saying that Hampton, first-round guy for a reason compared to Devin Neal. I'll just stick with that.
What about your boy Rico? Are you starting him or Devin Neal?
I would play. I lean Rico. I lean Rico in that one. Just a little bit more knowledge of the player, but the timeshare of the Panthers is real on the hot hand. If you're playing Rico, you got to hope he comes out and those first 5 carries he rips something and gets it going.
All right, and then let's rank these 3 rookie running backs for people. Travion Henderson, R.J. Harvey, Quinshon Judkins.
Okay. Judkins is going to be at the top. That one I feel pretty confident in. It was Judkins, Hendo, and Harvey.
Yep.
I think that's how I do it. I got Judkins at the top by a good margin. Henderson still getting opportunities. We don't have all the trend data yet of Ramondre being back. That first week barely plays. The second week played way too much for Ramondre Stevenson. The matchup is fine against the Buffalo Bills, while R.J. Harvey's against Green Bay. I'm concerned about the Denver Broncos offense this week. I mean, when you lose Pat Bryant, things are going to shut down, guys. That's how I'm going to handle it. Harvey would be at the back, even though he's the one who's kind of having that breakout. But Judkins is the play for me.
All right. We're going to move to the tight end position. A lot of people asking about Isaiah Likely this week. Are you starting Likely or Tyler Warren?
Again, rewind the tape, please, and see my rant about the Colts of just, dude, I don't know. I don't know. If you want to just bet on the talent of Warren, if you want we saw it earlier in the year. We saw some touche-pooche with Tyler Warren. I mean, look, the dude's a dog. He makes it happen. That will be in play. That could be, a situation where Warren, they somehow they have to get to the. In that circumstance, the Colts have to get to the goal line for Tyler Warren to get that tush push and score that touchdown. Dude, if I had both of those guys, I personally would play Isaiah Likely. Benching your studs for a plus matchup, it can be a fool's errand, but the Bengals matchup, we went over it on the show of just tight end twos are dominating against the Cincinnati Bengals. It makes no rational sense how bad their defense is against the tight end position. I'd play Likely. And on top of that, not just the matchup, like the environment. Let me pull up so the Ravens-Bengals right now, we have 2 games that their over-unders are over 50 points. You got that Rams-Lions delight that we should get for the afternoon/evening whenever the East Coast is watching. And the Ravens and Bengals, they're over 50 points as well. The opportunity for that to turn into a shootout, that is just that environment that you want pieces of compared to the Colts-Seattle. In your wildest dreams with Phillip Rivers, do you see a world where that turns into a shootout? I don't, but I don't know. Maybe Jason does. the way he was hoping and dreaming about Phillip Rivers. I'd play Likely.
All right, and then are you starting Likely or Brenton Strange?
I'd stick with Likely. I'll stick with Likely on that one. Brenton Strange is a fine type of a play, but he really has to score for it to come through. Where Isaiah Likely can have 100 yards and no touchdown, and you're still happy you started him.
All righty, and then at the quarterback position, Drake May or Joe Burrow?
We talked on the show how Drake May is like this terrifying start simply because everybody is starting him. Buffalo coming in, road favorites. Let me double check. Are they? Buffalo is still considered the favorite. It's a 49.5 point over-under, so we do like that. I would, but I mean, look, man, if I'm going down in the playoffs, I'm going down with Joe Burrow. against the Ravens. With it. I know Higgins is out. That is a bummer. That does hurt Joe Burrow for all. And if you got Jamar Chase out there, I know y'all. Yes, my guy is going to get everything for the Bengals. I think things are better for Joe Burrow and the team overall when T. Higgins is there. When he's on, yes, he does take away touchdowns from Jamar Chase, but just more touchdowns in general. But I'm playing Joe Burrow. That one's really, really hard. I don't feel a tremendous confidence one way or the other, but I do lean Joe Burrow.
All right, and last one before we get to the people. Are you starting Jackson Dart versus Washington or Dak Prescott versus the Vikings?
Wow. That is more difficult than it should be. Dart's my start of the week. I love him this week. I love that environment against Washington, but it's Dak and CeeDee. If you had missed it, CeeDee Lamb made it through his concussion protocol. He will be playing. The Minnesota defense is good. It is a strong defense. The Washington defense is horrifically bad. If I had them both, I would play Dak. At the end of the day, I would still play Dak over Jackson Dart. Not by a huge margin, but that's how I would play it. Is that it?
That's it. Let's get to the people.
All right, people, here we go.
Stardom, set 'em.
Good Lord, the chat is out of control today. I get it. Everyone. Thomas says, Jacoby Brissett or Lamar Jackson. I would play Lamar Jackson. Mentioned the environment. Now, there's been some talk of people are concerned about Zay Flowers. I do understand that as well, but I'm still playing guys from this game. You just when you get over-unders that high, then it generally works out for you to get the pieces of that game. I mean, just the rewind. What was the Detroit Rams? Wait, no, that's this week. Who did Detroit just played? So what was the Tesla game? Whatever, last Thursday. I can't remember who it was against, but it was just like everyone had good games except for like one guy. So you want pieces of that. Next question. We got Chase says Herbert or Lawrence. I would be playing Trevor Lawrence. Huge being out sucks. That one's the road, right? Let me just quadruple check that one there. Yeah, on the road, Kansas City. Their offensive line. Justin Herbert is going to take some pain this weekend. Justin says, "Wow, there's a lot of quarterback. Dak or Burrow? I'm playing Joe Burrow. That's how we're going to do it." Cirque something says Isaiah Likely or Dalton Schultz. The doctor has been. Hey, look, Andy likes to take some shots at Dalton Schultz for being so slow. He's been okay. He's been okay. Having said that, no, I'm playing Isaiah Likely. I want my tight end to have the opportunity to do what Kyle Pitts just did on Thursday. Let's see. We got someone says Jacobs or Tracy. I'm going to still stick with Jacobs. I'm going to stick with Jacobs on that one. Who's even going to play for the Green Bay Packers? Like Jeremy, who's going to come in if Wilson is out? And Chris Brooks. And they said they elevated Pierre Strong. That was the name. That was the name I was searching for. If Josh Jacobs is active, the high value touches will go his way. He's great, so I would play him. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Nasty Luke Woody Marks, day 3 running back for the Houston Texans, or Ashton Genty. It's Woody Marks, dude. Fantasy football is crazy. Look, Ashton Genty is a great player. That matchup against Philly is terrifying. With Kenny Pickett. Not that Geno was doing anything good, but goodness gracious. and you have Woody Marks, who should see 20-plus opportunities. That's the direction that I would go. Ethan says Travion or Justin Jefferson. I would play Travion Henderson. I'm very happy there was not a lot of Jefferson questions today, because that's the same thing, man. Jason has it. If you're playing Jefferson, just remember, someone on this podcast said into the camera, if Jefferson has a bad game, you can blame him. At Jason Moore on your social media. Well, I mean, like, load it up. Get ready. He deserves the love if it goes well. But if it goes how I think it's going to go, at Jason Moore. It's just Tyler wants to know Kelsey or Warren. I would play Kelsey. Decent options that get me out of the Indianapolis Colts. That's the way that I'm going to handle it. Plump Cats. Plump Cats Gaming. Jefferson or Quinshon Judkins. Give me Quinshon Judkins there. I mean, he should. I don't know how they take Judkins off the field for any type of snaps this weekend. And then we're up against, let's see. Ross wants to know Jackson Dart or Patrick Mahomes. I think that the upside is Jackson Dart. Giving someone professional advice to bench Patrick Mahomes in a playoff matchup is very, very difficult. I can just tell you, if I had them both, they're very close in my rankings, like 10 and 12. But if I had them both, I would be riding with Jackson Dart, who, like, his numbers, his passer rating is very good. I mentioned he may not run a lot. He still will run, because this is just in his DNA as a quarterback, is to run. Maybe we don't get the designed runs that we had hoped for, but we will see some scrambles, and I would play Jackson Dart. All right, I got to get into the laboratory. I got to make sure that these rankings are where I want them. TheFantasyFootballers.com. I wish you nothing but the best and your enemies nothing but the worst. Good luck, everyone. Keep it beautiful. We'll see you tomorrow. Mwah! Positive thoughts. Goodbye.